every week I scour the newspapers. I don't really. I've got a team here that do it for me, and they come up with some interesting articles that I comment on and try and turn the story into something that might interest you. So in today, in one of the news today is Marks and Spencer's. Now, as you all know, I hate all the big chain stores, all the big supermarkets, and I think they should all close down, and they should be reopened as units for small businesses to trade from, because I think small businesses can offer a better service, better prices, and actually do a better job all the way around. I hope you agree with me. Marks and Spencer's, I often say to people that one of the things that they should be doing is concentrate on their brands. To me, a small business is its brand. Now, branding is an unusual thing, because you can say, well, a brand can be a product. So you can have a product, Mars Bar as a brand, or you can have a shop, Marks and Spencer's as a brand. And what's great is if you control a brand, if you control the supply of something, and you can differentiate between what's readily available on the shelves anywhere else and your own, then you can control prices to a point. I mean, if you've got a brand, look, I'm not even talking about the main big ones like Chanel and whatever. I'm just talking about everyday brands. You can often get a premium because you spend all this time and energy building up trust and respect in the community, and therefore when people see your brand or something else, they want your brand. And I think it's very important that small businesses get that. Now, what Marks and Spencer's are doing is they're going the other way. They're saying, for years and years and years, we've pretty much only sold our own brands. Everything in Marks and Spencer's is St. Michael's, or they've got the Marks and Spencer's food brands, and I think that's, I think that's good. But all of a sudden now they're deciding to go away and start selling other people's brands. So is that because they're looking to expand the stores and become just another supermarket? Or is it because they know that their brands are failing? Maybe their brand items aren't what we always thought, because we always thought as Marks and Spencer's as a high quality, great service, and they've gone a bit pricey over the years, but you pay a bit more for quality. But if they're going to bring in other people's brands, is that not diluting their brands? Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're looking for mass markets, which is perfectly okay. If that's the case, then my prediction is they will lose the essence of what Marks and Spencer's is. They might not. Maybe the store brand is strong enough to carry it forward. I personally think that we'll be closing a lot more Marks and Spencer stores, and I think this is a last-ditch effort to try and retain some market share. I mean, they always seem to be a little bit behind. They don't seem to embrace things as quick as other stores, like their food supplies. They should have a lot more food supplies online, and especially with the deal with Ocado, but they're not quite with it as much. So if I took over Marks and Spencer's, and as a kid I used to have clothes and stuff from Marks and Spencer's, and my grandfather actually had shares in Marks and Spencer's. But if I took over Marks and Spencer's, I would perhaps be looking at not growing so fast that I've got to start overgearing, taking on more loans, because they are quite a solvent firm at the moment, and I'd concentrate on consolidating the business and what it is, and concentrate on their core brands. And I think a lot of companies lose track of where they are. I mean, Royce, one of the best brands on the planet, and yet they're in trouble again. Is that not bad management? I don't know. I know they do a lot of aerospace work, but don't fall into this trap of growing big by selling lots more but getting less money for it for the sake of turnover. Turnover is vanity, but profit is sanity. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Marks and Spencer's. But I'm not an expert in the main world. I deal with small businesses. Graham, did you want to ask me something?
Yeah, I got to ask. So
yeah,
just to be clear, for me, the way I see it, Marks and Spencer's is kind of one of the very, very few on the street shops that has any kind of respect and dignity about it at the moment. Everyone else is going cheap and cash it in, and there's nothing wrong with going to Primark or all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Do you think just to be clear, that this is like a massive mistake then, because I don't shop in there.
I think they're changing the essence of what they are. And when you say there's nothing wrong with going to Primark, don't talk to my girlfriend about that. One of the things that made her realise that COVID was here was the fact that Harvey Nicks was closed. But sorry about that. No, I think people should brand themselves properly and stick to that and go with the market. And I think they're following the trend of a lot of businesses and the way they're going. So I would do what they're doing in closing down some of the stores, maybe even making smaller stores, but concentrate on their core products.
I agree with you. Yeah.
But that's not always the best way to grow a business. Sometimes the best way to grow a business, if you're looking for money, is to do what they're doing and just bring everything in and use the fact that Marks and Spencer's as a brand will increase footfall. And then they become like Tesco's, and see which is a stronger brand, Marks and Spencer's or Tesco's.
Just so we're 100% as well, what am I allowed to message your girlfriend about?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Don't even mention her name.
Not even speak of her. Don't even think of her.
Yeah,
all right, I'll go. Thanks.
Yeah. No. I was at the doctor's the other day, and he's told me I've got to lose weight because I'm really. As you see me every Thursday now, you'll probably see a slightly thinner version of me because he really laid into me and really shouted at me, and then he phoned my girlfriend as well to tell her off. So then I go home and she has a go at me as well. So it looks like I've got to lose weight now. So anyone see me eating a burger or any rubbish food, stop me doing it. Otherwise you won't have these wonderful live shows going. So John Lewis is in trouble again, isn't it? They're sacking loads of people. But you know what I don't understand about John Lewis is that they've always maintained that their staff are actually partners. But as soon as the going gets tough, they start sacking the partners. Makes you wonder about the sincerity of it all. But personally, I've always found John Lewis to be the same as everybody else, and maybe I miss the subtleties in what's good about them. But this is where smaller businesses come in, where your businesses come in, because you can compete with them now. You can put your stuff, your branding, your gear online, and you can do quite well about it. In fact, just going on about big firms, we were talking about Uber before. Uber Eats, weren't we, Graham? Yeah. And because what we do is sometimes we sit down and we have a chat about what's going on in the world, because mostly I'm clueless. So we're looking at Uber Eats that have lost so much money, and we're talking about, do you lose money because the trade is going downhill, or you've made some mistakes in expansion plans? But a lot of firms, when they want to expand, they want to grow, what they're looking for is to take an idea that might be current. I mean, I personally think that companies like Uber Eats will end up going out of business anyway, because I think the model's flawed. I think the model's flawed because they're taking too much money from the restaurants and the takeaways, and they're also adding too much of a premium on, and then they're dealing with people who are not always the most reliable of people in drivers and stuff. So it's a flawed model. So what they'll do is they'll cash in as quick as possible, because sooner or later, a lot of these traders, they're going to say, well, do I need to turn over 3,000 a week? And as soon as I do, maybe I'll just take my own driver on. Use Uber Eats as to get me into that loop of home delivery. And I think what a lot of these firms do is that they jump in, they grow as quickly as they can. They absorb other firms, they get lots of investors, and they float the company, and the directors make fortunes, and the company sort of saddles away, sort of just slowly disappears, or it goes into another market. The future for Uber Eats and companies like that, I would imagine, is taking on giant warehouses producing their own food under their own brands. But who am I to say? I just think that, I've said it before, that small businesses using Uber, use them. Don't look at it as a long-term partnership, because 25%, 30% straight off your top line, it's not great. What we're saying, right? So that's John Lewis. I was going to come back and talk about the Justice League. That's the new film coming out, the superhero film. But we'll talk about that next week on the release date. Next week. Everyone will be watching it next week. Everyone will be watching it next week.
So we'll steal the views.
Are you going to watch it?
Am I going to watch Justice League?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're damn right. Yeah. I'm going to sit there watching a square box in black and white for 4 straight hours.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it twice.
With the semi, I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because he didn't compromise his vision. That's why.
Maybe he should have done.
And I respect that.
Because the first film was crap.
Yeah, it was, but
Yeah, okay, you're getting flustered, aren't you?
Someone else put that film out. He didn't put that film out.
No, it's true. He hadn't had the bottle, did he? So
his little girl killed herself. What are you on about?
Yeah. Right. Anyway.
Oh my God!
It's released next Thursday, isn't it? So we'll be watching it. So, but we better be careful because I think more people will want to watch my show than want to watch the Justice League. So you can record it, so don't worry about it. So. We were talking again before about...
Wait, what do you mean record it?
Record the Justice League.
It's on demand.
Oh, right, so you can watch it any time then, doesn't it?
It's not going to be on a balloon passing the house.
Is it not? Oh, we don't record things anymore, do we?
No, it'll just go live on Sky.
So is that means you've got to pay for it extra again?
I don't know. No, I think it'll just be... If you got Sky...
Yeah.
It'll just pop up as a VOD, I reckon.
So you have to pay for it. Mind you probably got loads of ways of fiddling the system.
How fucking dare you? I've got a Sky.
This isn't trigger warning. You can't swear.
Sorry. Looked at Aidan as if he's a thing. What do you mean fiddling? Will you stop? Right.
Yeah. Go on.
I really wanted to get the Stephen on the couch to be the same Stephen on here.
Yeah.
But this nonsense about me fiddling everything has to stop.
Not talking about kids now, Graham. Sorry about that. Hayden told me to say that. Just what? Did I say something wrong? Okay. So selling up. Should it be your goal? Should you be looking to build a business to sell it up? And I don't see anything wrong with that. Some people think it's a sellout. Some people think, literally a sellout. Some people think it's mercenary. Some people think it's building years and years of trust and then capitalising on it. And, if it's whatever works. But selling out doesn't always mean just selling out. So sometimes you can sell up and still retain an interest in the business and keep a direction. And really, I think if you want to grow a business, then why not? What's the ultimate reward for selling a business? And in fact, I can help you grow your business and sell it and move it upwards. And I'd say, you know what? If someone wants to buy your business and they're either looking at lots of opportunity in that business and they're going to work harder, so they'll probably look after the business better than you do at the moment. So build the business up to a certain level and sell it. Why not? That's what I've always been looking at doing. I'm too old to sell up now. I might as well stay here forever and just sort of fade away. You know. What are you laughing at now?
It's just what you said about me before, and then just casually carried on. You didn't even. It wasn't even a moment, was there? You just straight selling up. Everyone, should we discuss this now?
Well, it's good to sell up. There's a lot of. It gives you a bit of extra motivation to get up in the morning when you know that you're working on a project, because the business then becomes a project that you can sell up on, and that you can.
You know
really
what I found though, and obviously I don't have your experience and knowledge and all the rest of it. But obviously, yeah, I wouldn't be sat here, would I? I wouldn't be sat here on a Thursday night. But no, the people I've worked with, that I've collaborated with, who have had selling up in mind, haven't tended to. It's not tended to work out.
No,
if that. I see. I respect where you're coming from in terms of like having that as a real business plan. But when someone says that to me, like, we'll get it going and sell it, they tend to be useless.
No, it's true.
They tend to be really good at meetings and really good at selling their £1 million company, but not the bit in the middle.
Yeah. Well, many years ago.
What are you laughing at?
Funny enough, you'd have still been in little trousers. Many years ago, I was a business transfer agent, and I was a business transfer. I think it was about 8 months, and in all that time, I never actually saw a business sell. And what often happens is that people run a business for many years, and the business creates value, but one day they come along and they get ill, they get sick of the business, and they think, I'm going to sell it. And all they can get for it is what the business is worth at that time or the past 3 years before. And in years gone by, people didn't always declare in small businesses how much money they're really earning, so they had no proof. So you were always selling potential. But the thing with growing a business is that it's not just about saying, you know what, I've got this restaurant, this is, I want to sell it now, it's making £50,000 a year properly, profits, so therefore it's worth X amount of money. Then we add fixtures and, what you've got to do to make a business really worthwhile is get it branded. Make sure that you've got the key things that people are buying. Understand the people likely to buy your business and tailor the sale towards that from day one. As one of my favourite authors, Stephen Covey, says, start with the end in mind. So if you're going to start a business tomorrow and one of the things that you're going to make is to actually sell that business, then start planning that sale from day one, even if you're going to sell it in 10 years' time or 15 years' time. You know, people do buy potential, but they want to see how that potential can play out. So even if a business doesn't seem to be that profitable, it might have value that you hadn't thought about. So it's always worth looking at. I mean, the worst time to sell a business is when you're desperate to sell the business. When the business is on the floor or you can see these problems coming. That's the worst time, because people aren't stupid. They can see these things are coming. So that's fair enough, isn't it? So, you know, but again, it's not a plug. But if you do want to sell a business or you want to work on developing that business to sell them, do let me know and we can talk about it.
What happens then if someone comes to you and they want to sell a business, which obviously happens, and you look at them and you think, this isn't worth anything, what do you then do at that point?
You mean if I've got a client that comes to me with a business,
like the one you just
says,
described.
I want to sell it.
Yeah.
Well, I'd tell them what I've just said. I'd say, you know, first of all, are you looking at asset stripping it? You know, is the lease worth something? What sort of equipment have you got? What is it that you're actually selling? Where's the potential? Do you have, they call it barriers to entry into a business. What makes your business difficult to get into? And let's try and highlight all those areas. But by the time someone's made that decision, I want to sell it now, it's maybe a little bit on the late side to actually do something with it. But it's still worth putting it out there and seeing what people say. I mean, on the other side of things, one of the things that I did used to get when I worked at the business transfer agency, they would do everything they could to discourage someone looking to buy a business to go and see their accountant, because you know, if you go to an accountant with a set of accounts for the business they want to buy, the accountant will probably say, no, it's a rubbish business, don't buy it. And if the business is then becomes a success, then and they go back to the accountant, they can always say to the accountant, you told me it's rubbish, but it's really good. But the accountant can always say, but that's because you're such a good businessman. But if an accountant says, yeah, it's a good business, and the business fails, you can't then turn around to them and say, well, that's because you're a crap businessman or woman. You know, so yeah, the time to plan for a business sale is the sooner the better.
Can I just ask, you know, you just the little trick there, the little verbal trick that you use.
Which one?
With people about how you say things when you're looking at people's accounts. You always say it's bad so that you can then.
Well, I don't, because I actually look at I will highlight the pitfalls, but a set of accounts is not the full story. It's a starting point for examination, and I think you've got to remember that the accounts need to be right to keep the taxman right and to give you some proper information. But there are other things. There's sometimes lots of things in a business that aren't necessarily shown in the balance sheet, like relationships with clients. Like you might have some really, really good people that you're not working with properly. And I know we deal with people all over the country, and I know that we've got some real gems that we could work for and do more. And if someone was going to sort of maybe buy Accounts Direct out, they might discover some of these clients are worth a lot more than we're pitching to them. And that's because we do a lot of our core income comes from bookkeeping and general accounting, but there are lots of things that a lot of bigger firms can exploit, but they don't really give the client any advantage, but they just do take a lot more money in. And it depends what you're looking for. I'm looking for the company itself to be a good company and provide a service. I'm not looking to capitalise on every penny.
You won't let me up there to talk to him?
It's the girls.
Little camera monkey down here.
It's all the girls.
Oh, don't say that.
No, it's something they've said. There's a sign on the door.
Do you know what? I was
no.
I was getting my picture on the inside, so when they look through the window, they're like, oh, it's broken.
Yeah. No, well, they're all accountants. They're all very sensitive up there. You know.
I was surprised, actually, because I was snooping on your website today.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting such a young crowd.
Well, they're not all young. They just look young.
Well,
but I'm getting old. We've got a few 50, 55, 60. You know, I mean, I'm pushing 60. We've got 3 60-year-olds. We've got 40s. You know, there are a few younger people.
40s looks pretty young to me, actually, these days.
Yeah.
Mums. I'm all about the mums, Stephen. I
can't help you there.
You can't help me there.
I can give my mum a ring.
You won't even let me
I know her
keep
husband's not been too well. So,
Oh, God.
so are we going to go about Meghan Markle?
Why are you mentioning this, dude?
Because it's really annoyed me.
Why?
She's really annoyed me.
Honestly, before you start, I honestly don't know how anyone has an opinion on all this.
No, I don't know. It's an opinion. She just annoyed me because I feel that at the moment we've got COVID, we've got businesses failing, we've got people struggling, we've got her her father-in-law very ill. And I think whatever her opinion is of the family, I think they've done her a lot of good because, I mean, she was an actress. And now she had one of the world powers at her hands, and I just don't think it's gone the right way for her. I think she was trying to change the royal family, but that's an institution that's been going on many thousand years. It'll be there longer after she's gone. But I just found her like a spoiled brat, and I shouldn't say it. I've never met her. I just based on the Oprah interview, and I don't like the way Oprah was sort of leading it, and it's just like one big. Promotional stunt, and I don't know what she's trying to achieve. I mean, she's calling England racist. I mean, I'm Jewish, and I've lived in England most of my life, and I don't really think we're a racist country. There's racist people, but and even that is just stupidity. And I might be talking like a naive middle class man, but I don't know. I think you can't. I think the things she's saying aren't fair, and I think. What's his name? Piers Morgan. The way he stormed out. I mean, is that staged? Is it all being milked for publicity? And do any of us really care? You see, this is another thing about getting older. You find that as you get older, you don't feel like shouting as much, and you don't feel like listening to it as much. And I'd rather work with businesses to grow them, and I'd rather be, talking about interesting things, not what I see as a spoiled brat. I don't know. I just feel there's something very underhanded there. I mean, when I saw her without any makeup on, looking like a poor little girl, these guys have got millions. Didn't they just do a deal with Netflix?
Yeah, worth tens of millions. Yeah,
I don't get it.
Literally,
they've got everything. What they're starting with England and the royal family for, and
it's money, isn't it?
Well, this is it. It's
money. The same with Piers as well. Every time Piers does something like this, he goes viral globally.
Yeah,
and when he's asked about it, he's the #1 trending journalist on the planet.
I mean, he gets on my nerves as well. I can't stand listening to him.
He does, but he's
it's about money. It's all the time. You guys, it's all the time. Publicise. If you want to come on the show, if you want to come on our any of our shows, get involved with us. Do get involved in this. In fact, it's all about promoting interest in yourself. In fact, we were talking about the what's the new thing we're starting up, the deal makers. So I want people to come on if you've got job loss of stock, if you've got a business to sell, if you want investment, I'd like you to contact me and we'll film you and we'll guide you towards how to present the business, the stock, to an investor. And we'll get you on video and we'll promote it for you. We're not going to charge you for it. We just want to promote. We want to promote this deal-making environment. We can introduce you to lenders. We can introduce you to investors. We can introduce you to deal finance. So I think that's great. You won't need to go on TV and start slagging the British, slagging off England, or the Queen, or the royal family. You won't have to do any of that stuff. By the way, I'm not a royalist. I'm not a royalist. I just don't care. I'm quite ambivalent to all of it. But I just think with everything that's going on, Graham, why do we want to listen to this? It's just silly gossip, silly crap.
Again, it's all business, it's all money.
It is. It's all about money.
The YouTubers really now are getting more hits than the news stations. They get more eyes on. Pewdiepie is PewDiePie's influence.
Pewdiepie, what's that?
He's a YouTuber. He plays Minecraft and things like that.
Minecraft. Oh, that's another silly guy. Why do you play?
You know what Minecraft
you're
is,
40 odd and you're playing games still.
No, I'm telling you. Oh my God.
And that's another thing.
I had a good point.
Graham, he's not your God, he's everybody's God. What is it you're doing here?
Right. What do you mean? I'm
Sorry, so we're talking about games, aren't we?
Right. So PewDiePie, who plays Minecraft, his influence, the eyes on him, amounts to 1/3 of the audience of the BBC.
That's pretty
That's how many people watch PewDiePie.
So are we going to have to pay the licence fee to them soon?
I'd rather he got it, to be honest. He gives it all to charity. But that's the point. They're panicking. And it's like a slow spiral down because they need eyes on. And to get that, everything's racist, everything's sexist, everything's the most extreme version of how the story could possibly be told.
Oh, it's terrible, this racism thing. There's so many problems. I mean, racism it's everywhere. It's across the world. And I've been all over the place, and England is certainly not anywhere near one of the most racist countries.
You've got to stay off social media. You'll be on social media and you'll be like, oh my God. And you go out and it's like birds and people and smiling and you're like, oh wait, there is a real world out there.
You can get on in this country, like America. I was talking to Hayden before. And you can get on, it's true. You don't care what colour or creed or religion or even what sex you identify with. You can get on if you've got a good business idea and you're willing to work hard. You can get on. You can go on. I mean, the fact that we deal with our client base is so split from all walks of life, and I think if you think you've got a problem, then you've probably got that problem. But that's just one man's belief. Yeah. So we're coming on to you mentioned to me before Caroline Wayman.
Yeah, and
from
you know
the
what,
chief executive of the Financial Ombudsman.
Yeah, this was a selfish one for me because I don't understand what a financial ombudsman is.
Well, like all ombudsmen, they look to regulate and supervise and any sort of body to make sure that they're doing things that they should be things that should be done. And this particular body it's quite interesting, really. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of, I mean, I'm sure anyone watching this programme has either been scammed, seen the scams, heard about the scams, and it's awful. It's everywhere. Everywhere you go. I've had, every other day I get some sort of spam, scam, junk, everywhere I go. And this lady has had a lot of complaints because there's been tens of thousands of people complaining that the agency does nothing to help them when they've been scammed. And it is a serious problem. I think she took the decision that she can't take it anymore. She's having a nervous breakdown and she doesn't want to do the job. So she's walked out. But, what I can say from this is that it's a public service and it's something that they are trying to do, but it's so difficult regulating stuff that are coming from different parts of the world saying, I'm a prince, send me £1,000 and I'll send you the rights to this oil, or send me some money and I'll release my entire bank account so you can launder it and send it me back. You've got to watch what you're doing. You've got to watch yourself. We have it all the time. We have HMRC asking for people's bank accounts so they can do a refund. Now, believe you me, HMRC don't do this, and HMRC already have your bank account. And if there's a refund coming, your accountant will tell you. If you get any letters, anything from HMRC asking you for money, run it by your accountant first, because it's not the way they work. And it's the same with anything. It's online. If it's too good to be true, just don't bother. If you can always check people out, you can always check things are real. If something comes from abroad that you've never heard of, you had no inkling of, telling you that you've won £1 million, give us a £500 registration fee. Look, guys, you're not little old ladies that are naive and don't understand the ways of the world. You're businessmen, you're businesswomen. Don't fall for this stuff. It's mainly people that think they can get away with something, that think they get something for nothing, that will fall for this. I mean, there are other scams. My daughter fell for one. She got a text message saying, I've lost your number, or I've lost your details or something, and she sent it to them, and before you know it, they're in her phone, and we had to wipe her phone and I think we changed the number. And because I was in the database, they then had access to me, and I got a similar email, but by this time I realised it was rubbish, because they were purporting to be a friend, and I don't have any friends. So that's where I'm. Does that sort of answer it?
It confuses me.
They're there to protect us.
They are, but this is.
But they can't.
They can't. This is what I don't understand.
Yeah, no.
The budget, the yearly budget is £250 million. £250 million.
Yeah.
It's insane to me, and they managed 5,000 cases.
Yeah.
Now, I watch people like Kip. Have you heard of Kip Boga?
No.
Kit Boga, he goes live for like 8 hours every day, and he chases scams. Exactly what you've just been talking about.
Yeah.
He's got a voice changer, and he poses as an old woman.
Do you know, that sounds so much fun.
It
I
is
sort of
fun.
want to do that.
He has 10,000 people watching his live stream.
Wow.
And not only does he catch these people, he gets all their information. It all gets passed on to the police.
But won't they come and beat us up?
Well, they don't know where he lives. They don't know. He's all protected and stuff.
Okay.
That's why he goes by the name Kit Boga. But here's what really frustrates me in this disconnect. Someone like him, he isn't just doing it. He's catching these people for real at a rate similar to that entire organisation. Because he'll easily get hundreds in a year.
Yeah.
One man. Why are they not working with him? Why are they not grabbing these people? I don't understand it.
I think sometimes you remember that government organisation, or crazy government organisations. They've got their hands tied a lot.
Yeah.
There's only so much they can do. They've got hoops to jump through. I think it's very easy to pull down these types of things, but your friend Kip can do what he wants. There's no one regulating him. There's no one saying do this, do that, do that, or don't do this.
He doesn't break the law, though.
No,
I do see what you're saying.
It's not just law as in what the police say, although there might be some element of that. There could be some enticement or whatever. But I'm not a lawyer. But the government don't just have the sort of the police laws, they have procedural laws, and they've got to follow them. And like every other department, they're probably underfunded.
So destroy the government then.
I think maybe
got it.
Maybe help them find some of the files they've lost, and maybe destroy some of the files that they might have lost. And you know.
This is. I had a bit of a joke then, but this is for me. Kit Boga, he is one man on screen, but he has a team, and he does it in a very ethical way. For me, I adore this man, and it really.
Well, you know what we do?
It plays to my.
Why don't we, when we get these scams? Because quite honest with you, I've given up reporting them to the police. I'm sick of waiting 20 minutes, half an hour before the police actually answer, and then directing me to a website that doesn't even work half the time. So, I think, you know what? I'm not going to fall for that scam. I send out bulletins to people every so often with a scam. I've mentioned this type of thing on this programme before. We've got to take responsibility. We can't rely. If we know that the government, this ombudsman, is not really very good, then report it and then just sit back. Just don't get obsessed with it. Just take responsibility for yourself. It's not fair. It's not right. The government tends to get it right in the end, but. I don't understand why you don't just switch off these companies. I don't understand why it's such a big palaver to block them. I don't know why the governments can't trace them, but apparently it's not as easy as that. And I'd rather murderers being found than some idiot trying to scam a few quid out of you. Both of it's bad. It's not an either-or situation. But if you've got limited resources, take responsibility for yourself. I think that's what you need to do. So why have you been scammed, or are you looking for ideas?
No. I just I'm not a big fan of big organisations.
No. Well, I'm not either.
These things grab my attention.
Yeah, me too.
I love the little guy that can move.
Me too, because I think that's where life becomes better, when you've got loads of people running their own businesses, getting on with their own business. I mean, even going back to Meghan again with racism, if people are running their own business, then as long as the cash is the same colour, I don't think anyone gives a shit. And lots of people running a business, a nation of shopkeepers, a nation of smaller businesses. I think it's good for everybody. I think the big boys spoil everything, and they get where they get most of the time because they've got advantages, and sort of like they'll do things that maybe most of us wouldn't do because we've got too much decency about us. And that's why I'm here. That's my role in life, because I believe in small businesses. Is that it? You fed up with me?
No.
Oh,
wait. We've had this come through. Just a moment.
We have some.
We've got. Just had a text from one of your clients that's been sent on to me, asking you to increase the share capital in his company and allocate them to 4 people, and it's from Tony.
Oh yeah, no, I spoke to him before. What he wants to do is he's got a company. It's not really trading properly, and he wants me to increase the share capital of the company to £12,000. and divide that between 4 different shareholders. And I actually meant to call him back and I didn't. So if you're watching, you know who you are. Whenever you raise share capital in a company, don't forget that that capital's got to be paid for. So at the moment, it would be £12,000 unpaid share capital, or rather £11,999, because I think a pound's been paid. That's not a major problem unless something happens to the company. And if it does, the effect of the limited company is eroded, because straight away you'll have to pay that £12,000. So be sure that that's what you're doing. If you want to divide shares between 4 people, then just say we'll have 100 shares, £100 and £25 each. You don't need to be raising thousands of pounds. But Tony, I will speak to you sometime tomorrow. Funny them texting to the show like that.
It's just weird that your girlfriend forwarded it on to me after you made such a big deal about me not talking to her. Please, can you give me? I was up till 11 last night, 11 p.m. 11
p.m.
doing your audio podcast.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. Yeah, no, Graham's put all our podcast. We do have a radio station as well, which we really need to promote. But he's put all our podcasts on iTunes, Amazon. What are we on now, Graham? What?
We are live on Amazon, Player FM, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes and Google and everything. Yeah. Very, very soon you'll be able to just shout at your smart speaker.
And that's
hey, Google!
That's actually brilliant, but I did give you that half a cheese and onion pie. You can't knock it. A cheese and onion pie is a cheese and onion pie. But thank you, Graham. And did you do any of this work? Sort of like, did you do it on the side? Did you do any video editing and filming on the side that you'd like people to contact you for? Is it just for us?
I'm good for that. Just please, link in the description. Okay. Subscribe to the podcast that I've been working very hard on.
Yeah, he has.
We don't need to discuss anything else beyond that.
He has. Well, I think we're coming to the end of the show.
Why would you do that?
I hope it's been a different bit of a format. I hope people will come and join us. Don't forget, next week, if you do want to be on the show, if you got something you want to ask or you want to make fun of Graham, remember the bar's not high, it's dead easy. Just do contact us if you want to make fun of me, my COVID hair, everything. Phone in the number. Just contact me and we'll get you on the show and we'll have a laugh. And remember, we've got the lectures that I do give that should be emailing to you. Do watch them, and we've got the business between the spreadsheets live show. I think last week we interviewed a lovely guy from Tampopo, and he was talking about how he started that and got on with it. So there are some nice, interesting stories. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about, or maybe we'll have a half-hour silence, just let me know. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been a lot more fun than usual for me anyway, because at least I've had someone to talk to. And I'll see you next week at the same time. Take care. Good night.